Today we're going to talk to you about the great aviation pioneer, Jimmy Doolittle. Jimmy Doolittle, a great American hero and aviation pioneer. Jimmy Doolittle was born December 14, 1896 in Alameda, California. He was a great American aviator and Army general.
In his early years, Jimmy Doolittle was a boxing champ, a motorcycle racer, a stunt flyer, and a flight instructor. Doolittle's first interaction with aviation was in 1910 at the Los Angeles International Air Meet when he saw his first plane fly. This would lead to a lifetime career in the aviation field.
In 1917, he started his flight training on the ground at the School of Military Aeronautics on the campus of the University of California, and had his first flight training at Rockwell Field, California.
On March 11, 1918, Doolittle received his reserved military aviator rating and was commissioned a first lieutenant in the Signal Officers Reserve Corps.
During the World War I period, Doolittle was stationed on the homeland of the United States to flight instruct for the military at Camp John Dick Aviation Concentration Center, also known as Camp Dick, and many other aviation fields throughout the United States. During Doolittle's service, his duty was a flight instructor and a gunnery instructor during World War I.
Jimmy Doolittle was quite a daredevil. One time he took off from a 400-yard airstrip carved out of the canyon floor of the Mexican Canyon.
During the interworld war period, Doolittle set many records and did many firsts. Things such as setting 2 transcontinental time records. In 1922, he became the first pilot to fly coast to coast in under 24 hours.
For his college education, Doolittle attended the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and earned a master's and doctoral degree in aeronautical engineering. After obtaining these degrees, Doolittle spent the rest of the 1920s decade as a test pilot for military and private aircrafts. He also set many air race records. This also led him to become a famous aviator during his time period.
One of the greatest influences Doolittle had on the aviation field was the development of instrument flight. Doolittle had a huge impact on instrument flight. Unlike many other pilots, Doolittle saw the importance of flight in non-visual conditions, and he knew aviation wouldn't be free without the ability to navigate through less than perfect conditions such as fog, rain, clouds, and snow. Doolittle recognized the psychophysiological limitations of the human senses, and humans could easily be disoriented during restricted visibility of flight. Doolittle knew the importance of pilots to have trust in the instruments instead of their own senses, because aircrafts could move in ways the human senses are not used to. Doolittle became the first person to take off, fly, and land using strictly instruments with no vision outside the cockpit. Doolittle helped develop and was the first to test the now heavily used flight instruments, the artificial horizon and the directional gyroscope. After he resigned from his regular military work in 1930, he became the manager of the aviation department of the Shell Oil Company. He heavily influenced the Shell Company to develop and produce the first 100-octane aviation gasoline. He knew the high octane was crucial for the high-performance aircraft that were being developed during that time of the 1930s.
Doolittle won many races such as the Bendix Trophy Race in 1931 and a Liard Super Solution biplane. In 1932, Doolittle set the land plane speed record at 296 miles per hour.
After having won many air racing trophies, he officially retired from air racing, stating, "I have yet to hear anyone engaged in this work dying of old age."
In 1940, Doolittle returned to active duty with the military as a major.
Doolittle's biggest time of triumph and bravery was when he was chosen to lead the Doolittle raid on Japan for retaliation of Pearl Harbor. This is one of his most famous feats. The raid was planned to take off 16 B-25s off the USS Hornet aircraft carrying the Pacific Ocean and fly them to the Japanese homeland to carry out top secret bombings. On April 18, 1942, all of the bombers successfully took off from the Hornet to head to execute their mission on the Japanese homeland. After their targets were hit, they flew to China to land and seek help from Chinese guerrillas and American missionaries. After being the great leader of the Doolittle raid, Doolittle was awarded the Medal of Honor for his triumphs in leadership in the war and was also promoted to Brigadier General.
In 1946, Doolittle reverted back to inactive reserve in the military. Then he later returned to Shell Oil Company as vice president and later as a director. He then became the first president of the Air Force Association, which he helped create.
Doolittle made huge strides for the disintegration of the military and stated, "The solution to the situation is to forget that they are colored."
At the age of 63 on February 28, 1959, Jimmy Doolittle retired from the Air Force duty. After a lifetime of great strides and achievements and deeds, Jimmy Doolittle died on September 27, 1993 in Pebble Beach, California at the age of 96. After a lifetime of great strides and deeds, Jimmy Doolittle died on September 27, 1993 in Pebble Beach, California. He was 96 years old.
Doolittle's legacy will be remembered for many years and generations to come and will always be remembered as one of the greatest pioneers in aviation and American heroes.
Thank you.